asked, why is government using fuel levies to raise money and extract money out of citizens when other countries in the sub-Saharan region and in Africa do not do that? Fuel is up to 5 rand cheaper in neighboring countries than it is in South Africa because their governments are not extractive in that. We are continuously, as consumers and citizens, being told to cut our cloth accordingly. And that every time we have to tighten our belts, every time there's a petrol price increase, we are asked to bear the pain. We are asked to be the ones that have to suffer as citizens. When is it time for government to tighten its belt? When is it time for the president to cut his cloth accordingly? The size of the civil service is something the president has promised to deal with for many, many years, but has yet to even start to grasp the nettle on. We spend a huge amount of our GDP on a bloated, oversized cabinet that has been stuffed full of cadres through almost 2 decades of cadre deployment. We have a Home Affairs Department that cannot issue passports and birth certificates and treats our citizens in an inhumane way. We have a motor vehicle licensing and driver's license issuing authority that cannot issue driver's licenses. We have hospitals that don't heal the sick. We have an arms manufacturing company that doesn't manufacture arms. We have an airline that doesn't fly. And we have an electricity regulator, generator and supplier that doesn't generate, regulate or supply electricity. All of these are because we have a bloated, inefficient and ineffective state. Then we also have 50 million rand going off to Cuba. And as you would have seen from parliamentary questions that I've put in, that amount of money that's gone to Cuba has actually been far more over the last few years. Why are we sending money to Cuba when our own citizens are starving to death around the country? Why are we sending money to Cuba when our own fuel prices are skyrocketing and our own citizens are suffering? And so I don't buy the argument that it's up to citizens to now try and make up the shortfall. Government must now cut its cloth accordingly. It has squeezed the living daylights out of consumers, taxpayers, and ordinary citizens for almost 2 decades now. It's time for government to tighten its own belt. It's time for government to start cutting its cloth accordingly. And it's time for the citizens to start getting a bit of relief.